Alrighty. Howdy ho, folks. It's your multiversal medium here for another episode of Immortal Life, where we intend to take it pretty effing slow, if anything. Last episode, we were just kind of enjoying things bit by bit. Getting a bunch of materials to get recipes from, and just enjoying everything this game has to offer. You know, feeling like we're making progress when we're doing the most basic of any task. A good sign of a farming game, honestly. It really is. Exactly, persimmon cake recipe. Okay, yeah. Cool. Anyways, as I was getting the episode going, I noticed we do have some anima fruit. I also noticed we don't have any plants that look like they're going to give more plants here in a second that would have been the anima fruit. So, seems like anima fruit just kind of offer a one and done harvest, which means we're going to need a good deal of them. But first, seeing the air drying rack you are using is easy and convenient, but the amount that can be dried at one time is very limited. I may be able to help improve it, but I need some materials. Hey. Alright, man. Yeah. Little inventor over yonder is usually pretty good about that. Actually, yeah, let's go see him right now. Gives us something to bounce off of immediately. Let's see what the heck else we might be working towards and all that fun stuff. Also, as you can kind of tell, last episode we moved into winter. It's as beautiful as you'd think, considering how beautiful everything else is in game. Like, talk to you. Yeah. Oh, by the way, like, talk to you. By the way, isn't it like your birthday today? Interior designs is something we're going to have to work on. Purple devil flower. Okay. Emerald sandstone. We might be able to get that kind of stuff in different mystic realms, that's for sure. Considering we have like a thing for a terrace, I'm assuming when we keep upgrading our house, we're gonna get a second floor because we have something for stairs, as well as like a deck or something. Just gonna have to wait and see. This, oh, I could actually make this. This would be useful. Gonna hold off for a little bit. Check other stuff and then possibly do that. Like, talk to you. Let's see here. Processing facilities. Fruit and veggie shelf. Okay. Yeah. Guess that makes sense. Fruit and vegetable shelf. We need a carrot and bok choy. I might be able to go grab that real quick. Exquisite potato. Might have those. Still don't know why this shelf takes exquisite potatoes. I'm going to assume you use it to, maybe get that nice shine, you know? Just some weird, great grandma's, like, recipe of, like, oh, if you want the wood to shine, you gotta take a really good potato and just, like, rub it up on the wood, and it gets that nice shine. You can tell because the potato goes black as you do it. Like those stupid at-home cure-alls of like, yeah, just put potatoes in your kids' like shoes. It absorbs the toxins. You can tell because the potato go black. Okay, actually, like, we're almost good with all of these crafting recipes we're getting from him. Obviously, we're still missing a few, but we got a majority of them at this point. And that's effing awesome. Because from there... well, the world's kind of our oyster, and we'll just enjoy crafting everything. Yeah. Slowly outfit our farm and everything. Looking forward to it. I really it was popular for a second in farming games, and then it just kind of got, I want to say, almost sidelined. I have a weird kind of love-hate thing going on with farming games, if I'm going to be perfectly honest. For the longest time, I haven't found a single character I like and want to get married to in any farming game, which is like part of the entire reason to play a farming game. It's a life sim. So like at some point it's like, yeah, why don't you continue your life beyond this stage of life or whatever? And it makes sense. Oh, classes. Heck you to the yeah. So like, I haven't found a single character I want to marry in any way, shape, or form for a long time. Yeah, I'm pretty certain we're capped at MP. Yeah, alright. I mean, it's worth raising the other stats. It's just, I didn't think 117 would be the cap of my NP. Yeah, that's a really weird cap. That's all I'm saying. Alrighty, these willpower. I am really low on willpower actually compared to everything else. Do none of these dudes give willpower? Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I don't want to select the course. Cultivation HP MP, Cultivation MP Spirit. Stance Divinity. Yeah, none of those dudes give willpower. This dude does, but it might be, oh, this dude does too. Yeah. Cultivation, Spirit, willpower. We'll recruit you. That's gonna be a smart thing to do. Okay. We'll mix him in as opposed to one of the other dudes. Oh, by the way. Like dot you. By the way, did you finish patrolling or whatever? Yeah, cool. Does one of these have a possibility for like goldfish? That dude won like a goldfish specimen. Oh, this one has a chance for a goldfish. Congrats, that's what you're going to be doing for weeks at a time because I'm busy with other stuff. So, yeah, there just has a bit of character I'd want to marry. Which doesn't sound like much, it's whatever, and yeah, it kind of is just whatever. It's just a major part of the game that I haven't felt the drive to do. Am I completely out of bok choy? Do I not have any regular? Oh, there they are. Okay, I was about to say, no way, I save all my veggies. How would that happen? Yeah, there we go. But with basically what's happening is as I've gotten older, I've noticed a lot of the quote-unquote love interests for a majority of these games. I don't think I have enough exquisite potatoes for that one recipe. That's, well, that is what it is. I'm not gonna be able to do much about it. Put that dude in there too. Like honestly, I just can't do anything about the exquisite potatoes until I start growing some more. And right now I need to focus on anima fruit because of quests. So yeah, that's gonna be benched, and these ones I need herbs. Okay, yeah, cool. Awesome. Almost done getting designs. As I was saying, as I gotten older, all the love interests that would be in these kind of games just felt more and more childish, or more and more one note. And none of them felt like, oh yeah, that seems like a fully fleshed out character that's an adult that I would be kind of okay with in this setting. The last time I got married in a farming game was when Stardew Valley first came out. Because I was a individual that was constantly keeping up with Concerned Ape's blog for like years after just randomly finding out about it. I think so this kind of like circles back to an earlier Let's Play that's completed and finished. I picked up, I want to say, Secrets of Grindia, which I've done on my channel. It's finished. And after picking it up, I went down a little brief rabbit hole of like indie devs. And I somehow came across Concerned Ape's dev blog, because I think he was working with Chucklefish at the time, which was somehow tied to maybe Secrets of Grindia or something else I was looking into possibly. Either way, I found his blog about working on Stardew Valley and then just followed it for years. Just every once in a while, I wonder how that one game's going. What was it called? Stardew? Yeah, this. And finding it, seeing that he's still keeping up on it and doing X, Y, Z. And when it finally came out in 1.0, I loved it. And obviously everyone else loved it too. It started a huge boom in casual gaming. It was a great entry point into the genre. It was a great entry point into video games as a whole for a lot of people, which is wonderful. Oh, I don't have enough stone. I need the stone version for that one quest. Okay, well, easy come, easy go. I don't have enough spirit stones or anything to get the pavilion going, so it's fine to just spend the rest of the day mining or whatever. But first, let us craft. Let's see here. Fruit and veggie shelf. Need bok choy and carrots as well. Okay. Grab some bok choy. Grab some carrot. Yeah. Get us a nice little fruit and veggie shelf going. So that way, we can actually make that a nice little upgraded version of the drying rack. Anyways, when 1.0 came out, everyone loved it. It was a great entry point in a lot of ways, and people still love it. I'm gonna go out on a limb. If Concerned Ape legit just did bug fixes, never improved it in the ways that it has been improved since, I think Stardew Valley would still be as beloved as it is today, if maybe just a little bit less. Because Stardew Valley at 1.0 was as solid as could be, and Concerned Apes just built on that foundation. It is better now, but to say 1.0 was bad would be a huge lie, honestly. It was so solid already at 1.0. Like one of the best foundations for a game as a whole. Let's see here. No. One of mine. There we go. So when that game came out, I did a bit of a playthrough. I haven't honestly played Stardew Valley much since 1.0. I should do a proper playthrough since he's updated it so much in so many different ways. But that was the last time I got married in any farming game. Anyone. I have played basically every story of Seasons since then. I have played every Rune Factory since then. I have played a good number of indie farming games since then. And all I can say is a majority of the time, they don't write their love interest characters well. They really don't. And even if they do, gosh, are they kids? And I think I've gone on record, even during my Let's Plays, that one of the things I'm so happy about as I'm aging is my taste in partners has aged with me. I love the fact that my taste in partners has aged with me. So playing a farming game and just seeing the fact that it's mainly marketed for like 14 to 17-year-olds, if even 17-year-olds, more like 14 to 16-year-olds. So all the love interests feel like they're kids doesn't feel good. It really doesn't. And it's gotten to the point where like the last Rune Factory, there was a love interest that everyone's like, no, that one's just a child, man. There was a few love interests in Rune Factory 5 where everyone's like, yeah, that one's just a kid. I ain't okay with that. That one's just a kid. I don't want to touch that. That's ooh, kinda sorta. And then it's paired with like, oh, here's like this character that looks a bit like more mature or whatever. Oh, they're just a 1-note character. They don't have anything beyond that. They're very basic and 2D. So I constantly feel like I'm missing out on a major part of this entire genre. Because none of the characters are written in a way that appeal to me or are designed in a way that feels okay for them to appeal to me. So I'm not even going to try to figure out how they are writing wise. Ooh, a lot of spirit shards right there. Nice. Love it when that happens. It's rare enough where every single time it feels like a treat, but it doesn't feel like... It's just a treat. It's not like I should be mining for spirit shards and hoping for the rocks to break into spirit shards. That would be... Can you imagine a challenge of this game where all the money you make is actually just from that? Just hoping a rock burst into a spirit shard like Geode. Oh my goodness. That would be so insufferable just trying to make money. Oh gosh. I wonder if you'd even be able to start the game. Like, I don't know what the defining factor for unlocking this area is. Just to start being able to try and get spirit shards from the stones. But that would be an interesting challenge. As insufferable as most challenges in most games. It'd still be interesting. I wonder if there's any way to increase the chances. Anyways, back onto the earlier topic. I feel like I'm missing a major part of farming games as a whole as I get older. And my ability to deal with certain nonsense changes. Like, I don't know if I'd be able to get to the second arc of Rune Factory 2 anymore. Which, for those of you that don't know, Rune Factory 2 is divided into 2 story arcs. The first one is like, oh, here's the like cover art pro tag dude that you're doing, and oh, here's all these love interests. And as you progress the plot, you have a bunch of rival love interests to the characters you may be interested in. Let's see here. These shrimp dumplings have just come out of the pot, but I can't eat so many. Would you like to have some? Oh, she's so into me. Giving me leftovers. Perfect way to my heart. Anyways. Gosh, what was I saying? Oh, Rune Factory 2. In Rune Factory 2, as you're romancing various characters, every love interest you could go for, I want to say, except one, what's usually considered like the canonical one, has a rival that is also trying to woo them. Which is something I am really upset they started taking out of the Story of Seasons games. It was nice. It really was. But they just started moving away from that for some reason because I honestly don't know. Maybe it gave people anxiety? It gave every character in the town you live in a bit more believability that they were interacting off screen or whatever. You know, it made them feel more like actual characters as opposed to like just NPCs. So yeah, I'd love for the rival system to come back, and anyone I know who's super into farming games has kind of said the same thing when I've asked them about it. Okay, so these anima fruit can keep producing. It's just maybe it's just 2 productions. Okay, whatever. Mulberries are 3 productions. Okay, got it good. Good to know. More anima fruit. Yeah. Okay, so I think actually this is the flowers I need for that one tea. Yeah, how many of these do I need to dry out? Do I just need 1? Yeah. Oh, okay. Cool. But what are we looking at seed wise? Got sunflower, cabbage, sticky rice, ice bean. Ice bean can go down. Cabbage is already down. I think I planted some more mulberries last episode. And I think I just need to go grab some anima fruit because there's no way with the amount of harvest we're getting, we're gonna have enough. Definitely no way. Alright, buddies, feeding time. Yeah, there you go. Need to put in enough food. There we go. There we go, buddies. Alrighty, yeah, I'm pretty certain we have mulberries growing somewhere, but might be smart to just buy a few more seeds and obviously a lot more anima fruit seeds. Anyways, the rival thing in Rune Factory 2. Ooh, quest. Oh, great. I got ADHD. Since when? Since when have I had ADHD and why is it only showing up in this game? Purchase of rare resources. Since I started to sell quality resources here, business has been better. Yesterday, a buyer asked me if I had 20 of both cinnabar and luminous sand. I said I didn't have it then, but I would find some. So that's now my issue. Once this business is done, I will replenish my stock with some cinnabar and luminous sand in the future. So basically, he's asking me to figure out his issue now and he'll handle it in the future. I guess that works. Got anything good? Hair dyeing cream. Out of stock, okay. Soul grass, ice bean. Honestly, I just kind of want this dude, and yeah, I'm gonna go for the little freaking snowman dude. I like him. I like him a lot. Like, talk to you. Hey, what's up, man? Like, talk to you. Cool. Hey, can I ask you to go on patrol too? Like, at the same time? So, yeah, go. Oh, apparently I already had her doing patrols. Yeah, sure, go do that. I need to keep up on that. That's just free resources every few days. Alrighty, man. So, anima fruit, right? Oh gosh, how much? I got 1,782. Honestly, go with 10, I guess. Mulberry seeds aren't super expensive and they keep producing, so that'll be fine probably. I don't know what Brassica is for, but I'll probably need it down the road. Seems like every item is kind of useful in this game, which I like, but it leads to hoarding tendencies. All right. We got a free moment. Hopefully ADHD won't cause a random cutscene to happen or me to get distracted by a squirrel or something. So basically, let's see, anima fruit, there we go. In Rune Factory 2, after marrying the character, you would have a kid, obviously, because that's how it usually goes in Rune Factory games. You marry a character, you end up having a kid. And then, after your kid's like a certain age or whatever in universe, they would become the protagonist in Rune Factory 2. And what I mean by that is every single Rune Factory game has the protag that you start off with amnesia. They just can't remember what they were doing or why they were doing it. Some Rune Factory games touch on it and, you know, answer the question, oh, this is what your character was actually doing, and it's a major part of the plot line, kind of, sort of. Other Rune Factory games, I want to say like the first one, don't ever bring it up again. They're just like, yeah, it's just a random plot point that we use to get the game started, and I honestly hate it. I honestly do. Amnesia is almost always a bad plot point, and I went over this in Outbound Ghost. Hey, so I'd like to talk to you. Hey, by the way, collect stuff for me. Yeah. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I'd like to talk to you. By the way, I'd like to talk to you. Decoration designs. Yeah, grab that. Gonna have to grab a few more anima herbs and get that one. And then we just need potatoes. Okay. Cool. Cool. Awesome sauce. Go try to harvest a few anima herbs and craft a few odds and ends. Oh, we got a little like fruit drying rack right there. That's nice. So at the midpoint of Rune Factory 2, the protag remembers what they forgot at the start of the game. Basically, they get all their memories back. So they go to deal with the thing they needed to deal with. And at that point onward, the protagonist is your child. And it's an entire different generation at that point. All the love interests you didn't go for hooked up with their rivals, so on and so forth. And there's all these kids and tykes going around. And you can have a pretend wedding with these kids as a kid yourself, and it feels very different tonally, while also still continuing onward from where you left off in that first generation. It's interesting as a gameplay mechanic. Generational stuff in these games and in any game is usually very interesting to me. Just in general, because it showcases the authors and writers are willing to continue a plot forward. Something a lot of authors are kind of afraid of, having their world kind of grow and expand and evolve. It is honestly something a lot of authors don't like touching on for whatever reason. And it was just kind of nice. But also I was suddenly playing a kid and it's like, yeah, and your romance is another kid. And it's like, oh, that's kind of weird. To circle back to the topic at the start of the episode or whatever, I do not know if I'd be able to even get to that point. Let's see here. Raised pork. Flagstone path times 10. Flagstone path cross times 1. And a stone pool. So 10 of these cost superior stone, like 6 superior stone every single time. Ooh. Oof. So that's going to be 66 just to get that one quest done of superior stone. That's okay. That's oh gosh, those cost 20. Oh gosh. Maybe we are just going to be getting materials for a while. Oh no. Oh, that takes anima herbs too. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, everything's bad. Oh, everything is bad. I'm not saying it doesn't make sense. I'm saying, oh no. Okay, gosh. Let's batch make however many I can make, and then I guess we're going back to the mines. Turns out this isn't a farming game, it's a mining game. I yearn for the mines in a way I actually don't yearn for them. Oh well, we're getting stuff to sell via this. A lot of monster drops. A lot of other odds and ends. Ooh. Good amount of spirit shards out of nowhere. Nice. Anyways, so I probably wouldn't be able to ever play Rune Factory 2 and finish it nowadays. Because all the characters would honestly just feel way too childish. And I probably wouldn't be comfortable dating them in almost any way, shape, or form. And since it's such a vital part of the game, I don't know how I'd feel about that. It's kind of like a Wonderful Life, Harvest Moon, A Wonderful Life, Story of Seasons, A Wonderful Life. Like, to progress that plot, you gotta marry a character or you get game over after the first year, basically. And I just don't know if I would. Because I think there's only 4 bachelorettes in A Wonderful Life. One of them added via the special edition, and I think is also in the remake. Yeah, I think she's a bachelorette in the remake. It'd be kind of weird to have a bachelorette introduced in the updated version of the game and then remake the game and just not have that. You know, like having content just locked away when you remade the entire game and then just adding that content as DLC. Hey, Atlus. Yeah, that was pretty apt with Persona 3, huh? Yeah, it's almost like you deserve to get called out on that. Effing Atlus. I can't believe they did that. They deserve so much shame for that one. They really do. I don't know if it was the Sega execs that did that, or honestly, I'm going to assume it was the Atlus execs that did that. because Atlus has been pulling that for a long time. F the Persona 3 remake. Everyone who's a classic SMT fan or classic Persona fan is so pissed about that. Anytime I go anywhere in forums that has people that were like, been a fan of those series for a while, they all crap talk the Persona 3 remake because of how crappily Atlus handled it. And yeah, I'm so glad people who were new to the series got a chance to play it. That's wonderful. They ruined so much with that one. Anyways, so yeah, I don't know if I'd be able to play the Harvest Moon A Wonderful Life / Story of Seasons A Wonderful Life remake, because it's vital to Mary in that game. Heck, if I remember right, the added Bachelorette is kind of childish looking too. Which is annoying because if I remember right, her adult model, like after the time skip of the first year in game, probably looks the most mature. She just looks like a kid when you first see her in the first year. Whatever. Going beyond the aspect of just marriage and farming games, there's been a major grab bag when it comes to game design farming game wise. I feel like for a hot second, farming games were like obsessed with letting you design your farm and everything, which is fine. It's awesome. But like they were obsessed with it. Every single farming game that was coming out was like, yeah, and all these customization options for your farm and even the town. Or we went ham on the farm customization, guys. Awesome, right? And then I feel like they just didn't know how to handle it. Is Pioneers of Olive Town the last Story of Seasons game? I know a new one, I think, was announced. Is it Grand Bazaar? Is that a remake? Is Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar a remake? I'm gonna have to look into that. Because if it's a remake, I never played the original Grand Bazaar. But I know there's a good number of Story of Seasons games I never played, like Animal Parade. And I think Animal Parade is actually just an updated version of another game. Is Animal Parade a freaking updated version of Grand Bazaar? I need to look this up right now, actually. Like, hold up, we're pausing. I'm looking this up. Because that would be so funny if I just somehow chanced on... Like, yeah, that's what it was. Okay. So, Grand Bazaar is a remake. The new Story of Seasons that was announced. But it's a remake of a DS game, so it's not what I was thinking of. The one I was thinking of was a Wii game originally. I still have never played Grand Bazaar on the DS. But it seems like the Story of Seasons dev team is seriously just kind of going through their catalog of a good number of Harvest Moon games and remaking them with this engine they have now to try and probably just have those games back under their label, maybe in the US. I honestly don't know. Maybe they're just obsessed with remakes and they're realizing they're kind of flubbing it with the newer entries like Pioneers of Olive Town. So yeah, we're just gonna be getting remakes for a hot second, I guess, is what it is. I'm not exactly upset about it. Like I said, I never played Grand Bazaar on the DS. I know they'll do a remake of Trio of Towns. I know my fiance will lose her crap because that was her favorite Harvest Moon game back in the day. But just gonna have to wait and see. Now then, I guess that means Pioneers of Olive Town was the last entry. Yeah, I'm pretty certain that's the last entry officially then at that point. Which, I'm going to be honest, that is not good. It has a lot of flaws, from how the pioneering, quote unquote, is handled to how the NPCs are handled and the village you're connected to is handled. With initial, this dude has cultivation, spirit, and willpower. Cultivation, spirit, MP. Cultivation, HP. This dude, and then this one. Yeah. And let's set that in stone. Yeah. There we go. And that should be good. But it has a lot of issues. And then it had DLC that just kind of extrapolated on those issues. I'm pretty certain I went over this in an earlier episode of Immortal Life, actually. I'd like to talk to you. There we go. Where I just mentioned that every NPC honestly isn't a valid NPC via the DLC. I don't think I went into the full issue of the pioneering aspect in Pioneers of Olive Town, because on paper, it is effing awesome as a concept. What am I going to be doing today? Probably foraging for anima herbs and then trying to get more stone for that one quest line. Yeah. Okay. But basically in Pioneers of Olive Town, your entire farm is overgrown. It's wilderness. So what you do is slowly kind of tame this wilderness in order to have your farm on it. You'll come across areas where you'll need to build a bridge, or you'll come across a pond that is completely like filled in and you can drain it, and so on and so forth. The issue is that it's not balanced well. Let's take that pond I just mentioned. You need this one pump to drain it. But the pump takes these kind of resources to work, and it takes like this much time to drain it. And if you don't keep up on those resources, the pond instantly like refills, and there's no real way to fully claim this wilderness area, which I know it's like, well, it's wilderness, why would you try to fully reclaim it? But we're talking about like just this wilderness aspect of this farm. It is your farm, it is your land. Grows and overtakes things way too quickly. Like, talk to you. Like, it is a Pyrrhic victory to gain an inch on this land, if I'm remembering right. It is a pure Pyrrhic victory. And, ooh, classes. Hey, let's get to it. And you're just constantly stuck trying to get enough resources to gain another Pyrrhic victory, just to gain a bit more farmland, when honestly all you should be doing at that point, because the game is designed in a manner that does not reward you for claiming more land, is stick with the original plot you have and just grow stuff there. They had this fun, awesome idea, and they just made it so it's a hassle to the point where you don't want to do it. And that's the long and short of it. Frickin' doing the main aspect of Pioneers of Olive Town is annoying when it's a cool concept on paper, and that's it. It's annoying. So you end up reclaiming a certain amount and then stopping because you hate it, and That's it. See here, I can make 2. Gosh dang, man. We are going to be in the mines for a minute. So yeah, the Story of Seasons series is in a odd place right now, at least with recent entries. Beyond that, it's a lot of farming games I've come across to have honestly just not hit their mark. I love Rune Factory, I do. I've been playing Rune Factory since I picked it up on the DS. I have every entry, I want to say, except 2 of them. I don't have a copy of Tides of Destiny, and I don't have the PS3 version of... Actually, is Tides of Destiny the one that's on the Wii and the PS3? I don't have a copy of Tides of Destiny, and I don't have one system copy of the other Rune Factory, whichever one's on multiple systems, home systems, because I'm pretty certain I have the Wii version of the sequel to the first Rune Factory game. If that's also on PS3, I don't have the PS3 version. If it's Tides of Destiny that's on Wii and PS3, I don't have any copy of Tides of Destiny. Gosh, we are actually getting kind of lucky with the spirit shards. That's nice. Yeah, it's actually really nice. Penny bot. So yeah, those are the only games I'm missing in the entirety of the series. And Rune Factory 5 was kind of a disappointment. From its mechanics to its characters, it's not that it's a bad game, it's that it's not a good Rune Factory game. But then again, I can't even fully blame it. One, it's doing the Disgaea thing that I was talking to my fiance about, where they're switching to like 3D assets. And the 3D assets are going to be more useful going down the road because they can constantly reuse 3D assets. But moving into this more 3D sphere, when it comes to game design, lost so much charm with just the set pieces. If you play an earlier Rune Factory game, every screen, it looks like hand-drawn with all these odds and ends that you can interact with and look into, and it looks like a cluttered lived-in space every single screen, and the dungeons look wonderful. And as we move to a 3D setting with Rune Factory 5, it's a lot more sparse. There's a lot less everywhere, and everything looks a lot less charming in a sense. It went from like this cozy high fantasy akin to the Mana series. I'm constantly thinking of the Mana game on the PS1. I can't remember which Mana game that is. But the Mana series has a very well-defined art style, and the PS1 Mana game feels very high fantasy cozy with that art style. And Rune Factory had a similar feel of high fantasy cozy that was lost in Rune Factory 5, becoming very sparse and okay, now I can move. Like the town feels very spread out with nothing anywhere in it, as does the maps and the buildings and everything. And yes, I know they'll be able to keep reusing the 3D assets as we move forward and maybe get better at this. It just feels less lived in, less cozy. And that's just the vibe that's an issue with Rune Factory 5. Beyond that, something that you've been able to do, I want to say, since Rune Factory 4 was place various items around your living space or farm or whatever as crafting stations and kind of customize that area or those areas in general. And in Rune Factory 5, it honestly just sucks. If we consider your living space, like your room slash house or whatever you want to call it, you can't even place things against the wall unless you mod the game. So basically you're going to constantly have a huge gap between furniture and the wall in that game. And it's small aspects like that that just keep taking more and more away from Rune Factory 5 and stopping it from thriving. So, although I beat Rune Factory 5 and enjoyed what I played of it, I don't consider it a good Rune Factory game. But once more, it's almost unfair to judge Rune Factory 5 by any metric when it comes to the genre, because it was the follow-up from Rune Factory 4. And Rune Factory 4 was the series' swan song. The series was dead with Rune Factory 4. It wasn't meant to continue. They had to put everything, every ounce of love into Rune Factory 4 because they were going to get a chance to do another Rune Factory game. That's why 4 is so loved by the fans. So much passion and everything they ever wanted in the series was put into 4. Like, they wanted to at least finish this story, this IP, on a good note. But much like Fire Emblem Awakening, which was meant to be the end of the Fire Emblem series, Rune Factory 4 sold so effing well, it revived it. So, anything coming out after Rune Factory 4 was going to be held to a metric that was just unfair. I don't inherently think 5 is bad. I think, like I said, it's not a good Rune Factory game. And ultimately, I don't think it will ever be properly judged by the metrics it should be, because it was the freaking next act after 4, and 4 is a hard act to follow. And honestly, I don't think there was ever going to be a way for them to follow through with it without kind of missing the mark for a second. Now, by the time this episode's going up, Guardians of Azuma should be out. I am recording this before the game's out. I do not have an opinion on it yet. We don't know. I just hope it's enjoyable and everyone's loving it. I never got any comments about you guys possibly wanting me to do that as it came out, so that's off the table at this point. Especially considering I honestly haven't even ordered my copy yet. I was sick for a hot second. I know I mentioned that here and there in various series, and I just never had time to order the copy, and I was out of work for a bit, so it's like, no, I can't afford it right now. Is what it is. That being said, there's also a few other farming games that I've come across and tried, and they're a grab bag. They really are. I didn't know I'd love Immortal Life as much as I do while playing it when I picked it up. I just knew, hey, high Eastern fantasy farming game. I like high Eastern fantasy. I like farming games. Let's give it a shot. And yeah, it hits the mark really well. As someone who's been a fan of the genre since A Wonderful Life. A Wonderful Life on the GameCube was my first foray into the series and genre as a whole. So yeah, Immortal Life checks all the boxes of an enjoyable farming game for me. But then we get to the other farming game I'm doing on my channel. You got another quest? Seriously? Purchase of rare winter flavor. My wife says there are bamboo shoots in both the spring and winter, and that they taste different. She likes the spring ones, so she always uses them in her cooking. I'm a bit curious about the taste of the winter bamboo shoots. Are they really that different? How many do you need? Yeah, here you go. Are these winter bamboo shoots? Yeah, in the color, they look the same as the spring ones. Once I'm home, I'll cook them secretly and have a taste. Just a little secret. Yeah, I got enough of that and enough of that. Okay. You save the day again. The buyer will be satisfied. I promise I will sell more varieties of goods. It is good that he's updating his shop and his resources. So yeah, it is worth it to do those quests. It's just like, talk to you. Kind of funny that I'm constantly bailing this dude out. Like, talk to you. Actually, how are we doing on anima fruit? Yeah, we might be able to turn in these 2 quests. Okay. So, did you want anima? Who wanted the other anima fruit? I have 2 quests for anima fruit. Cool. Raised pork. Crafting master. Lin Wanji. That is probably the woman who is just great at crafting and stuff. Where is she currently at? She is in the inn. Okay. Oh, by the way, like, talk to you. Oh, wait, that was a different dialogue thing that I didn't even check out. No! Kitchen helper sec. Okay. Hello, could you please do me another favor? Okay, what are you going to cook this time? You knew I wanted you to cook something before I spoke. You are so perceptive. It's all you ask me, man. The patron who has been living in the guest room eats veggie congee with 2 vegetarian dishes every day. It takes a lot of time to cook the congee. Today I just want to sneak out to buy something for my daughter. You really are a family man, or be careful not to be found out by Matron Yi. Yeah, be careful, man. Well, I've got you here. As long as the guests can have their meals, Yi won't find out. Thank you in advance. I'll be back before you finish cooking. You didn't ask. I didn't say yes. Okay. Veggie congee, stir-fried mushroom, soybean sprouts with scallions. Mixing table is like a pan with 2 things mixing. Kneading table is just a sharp angle. Steamer and boiling pot. Okay. So we got to get that boiling. Gonna be stir-frying that and stir-frying that. Okay, I guess that means we should do the veggie congee first. And then do the other stuff. The veggie congee is going to take the bok choy. Pop it down. Hey, I said put in. Oh, that's the meat one. Gosh dang it. Already flubbed it. Okay. Pop it on the boiler, not the steamer. Get some water. And get some of this good stuff. Boil all that. Move on to the other one. Yeah. It's gonna be nice. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, the other farming game I'm doing on my channel. That's take. Okay. Harvestella or whatever is just such a bad game that it's insulting. And it feels like Square Enix just added the tag of farming game to try and sell a bad game because they know farming games are selling after Stardew Valley. Like, the farming game aspect of Harvestella doesn't need to be there. It's more so a means to basically scallions right here. Solve an issue that could be solved otherwise in the JRPG aspect that they made. Farming in Harvestella is simply to make healing items, basically. Because in game, you can't make healing items outside of the farming gameplay loop in some way, shape, or form. And it's insulting. They made an issue that isn't in other JRPGs to sell you the solution about, yeah, that makes it a farming game, right? When the farming game aspect of Harvestella honestly just sucks. It just really sucks. Yeah, kitchen helper. I'm not late, am I? Take this preserved fruit and the design for our vegetarian feast as a reward, please. Okay, yeah, sure. Appreciate it. By the way, I'd like to talk to you. See, processing recipes. Dried bamboo shoots. Ooh, she needs spring bamboo for that. Dried mustard recipe. You need bok choy. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Grafting master. Anima fruit. You've got some crops for me? It's no surprise for me. After all, you are a bunch of naive guys who are trying to rebuild the Gion sect. But I do think it's kind of fun. Okay, I'll take it. Thank you. Portable fire. Didn't know it'd be so cold in the Xi'an mountains. It's totally different from back home, and I left in such a hurry that I didn't even think to bring winter clothes. Yeah, you seem to be a bit underdressed. I can make a campfire. I won't need to worry about the cold weather. A campfire? What's that? That is... like, in universe, it is a valid question. Because we are immortals. We can handle the elements. Like, our bodies are toned in such a way that we can handle extreme temperatures and extreme environments in general. Why would we ever need a campfire? It's a simple artifact that keeps you warm. I'd make them a lot when I was a kid to practice enhancement. Don't you often go into the cave? Bring me some blank, and I can show you what I mean if I make two. I don't know if the text is just white or if that's properly just blank. But okay, that's kind of weird. What do I need to bring her? Portable fire. Luminous sand. Oh, okay. Yeah, luminous sand. That's good. Just a minute. See? This is the campfire. When equipped, it'll follow you around. It doesn't have any use except for heating, but it can save you from having to bundle up in winter. I just made two, so this one's for you. Okay, so what are we looking at? Get us a nice little follower buddy. Oh, cool. Okay. I'm assuming the campfire aspect is actually just a weird translation. Yangji King. Where is that dude? He's probably over at the Gion sect. Okay. We'll turn in this quest for Relapse 1 and call it an episode. But to finally finish up on the plot point I've been talking about the entirety of this episode, farming games have been kind of a grab bag for me, and Harvestella is the greatest showcase of that. I talk to you, relapse, anima fruit, we can finally turn that in. We need to go grab some jujubes to hand over. I swear to Christ, if I somehow actually just don't have enough jujubes, I'm going to riot 100%. Okay. No, I got enough jujubes, we're good. But yeah, Harvestella is the grandest showcase of such a grab bag when it comes to farming games, at least recently for me. Yeah, there we go. Thank you. I will boil the medicine for him in a moment. I'm here to take care of G. It's okay. that feels like a weird sentence structure. Spirit shards, 1k. Okay, cool. Yeah. And that's gonna continue that quest line. If we can get red pepper, we can continue another quest line. Okay, guys, it's been an episode. We made progress in weird ways. I talked about farming games as a whole. Just been kind of taking it easy and slow because that's what the heck Immortal Life's all about. It's enjoyable while you do it too. I'll talk to you guys later in another episode of Immortal Life. But until then, ciao.